everyone, happy Tuesday. We're going to be continuing our new unit today with changes to our changes in matter. We introduced it yesterday with some vocab words that were in our assignment and in our star slides. So for today, go ahead, watch the agenda, do the attendance question. Yes, I watched and understand the lesson. Excuse me, expectations. For today, we're going to be talking about physical properties. So the lesson today investigates how matter can be described by its physical properties. We're going to be looking at mass, conductivity, volume, boiling and melting point, states of matter, density, solubility, and magnetism, linked to the pear deck. So go ahead, look through the slides. Also answer just 2 questions today, but this one is a big parter question. So for today's assignment, we're going to be doing another Gizmos. It's been a second since we've done a Gizmos, so click here to open up the Google Doc assignment. Once you get there, it should look like this, and then click this link right here, this blue link, to open up the Gizmos. All right, and a reminder, if you see this 5-minute preview thing down here, oh, am I frozen? Okay. 5-minute preview, that means you're not logged in or you're not logged into the right account. So click login and enroll. If you're in hour 1, it'll be WMS Coleman 1. Hour 2, WMS Coleman 2. Log in. You know you're logged into the correct account if it says Coleman hour 1 or Coleman hour 2 up there. And then we're looking for the freezing point of salt water. So you'll open up that assignment or that Gizmos. And so for this Gizmos, before we actually even do the Gizmos, we're going to do these 2 questions first. So in the winter, people often buy large bags of rock salt to sprinkle on their walkways. Why do people do this? So why do we salt our roads? Why do we salt our sidewalks? So what do you think? Write that down. And then number 2, the freezing point of pure water is 0 degrees Celsius or 32 degrees Fahrenheit. How do you think adding salt to water affects its freezing point? So do you think it makes it so that it freezes at -5 degrees Celsius? Does it freeze at 5 degrees Celsius? Does it not change? What do you think happens? And then for the actual Gizmos. So it says with the room temperature set to 0 degrees Celsius, and actually just to make my life easier, I might even just make this split screen real quick. I think that'll be an easier way to do this assignment. So I'm gonna go ahead and make this split screen. And then don't forget, it makes it really easy if you go up here and click fit, so you can see the whole thing. So it says with room temperature set to 0 degrees Celsius, which is over here. So you can see this room temperature is this purple bar where you can adjust it back and forth this way, or you can just click in here and type 0, hit enter to get to 0 degrees Celsius. Observe the water molecules in the molecular view. Describe the motion of the water molecules in the liquid phase. Describe what they're doing. What is their motion? Are they moving around a lot, a little bit? Are they moving around at all? Whatever that might be. Then set the room temperature to -10 degrees Celsius and observe what happens. So -10 is actually the very bottom, so I'm just going to slide it all the way that way. And oh, you can look to see that things are starting to change. Also, there's a little guide down here. Salt is blue, water is red, and then that ice is a different color. So go ahead, say what is happening. And then describe the motion of molecules in a solid. So once it's a full solid, describe what the motion of the molecules are. Next one, this question asks, how does salt affect the freezing point of water and the melting point of ice? For this, you're going to, with the room temperature at 5 degrees Celsius, the water should be in a liquid state. So let's get it to 5 degrees Celsius. So 5, enter. And so we're going to wait for that to change. So you can see it's going back into a liquid state. And it says, lower the room temperature 1 degree at a time until the water first starts to freeze. Look at the thermometer inside the container of water. So it asks, what is the freezing point of pure water? Which actually, we already told you up here. It says that the freezing point of pure water is 0 degrees Celsius. So So you're going to put what is the freezing point of pure water. It says lower the room temp a few more degrees. What do you notice about the water temperature as the water is freezing? So we're just going to wait for this to fully go back into, reset button. Love a good reset button. All right, let's go all the way up to 5 degrees. And we'll see that this thermometer over here is changing as well. So we're going to wait for that to catch up to 5 degrees. Awesome. So again, it says with the room temperature at 5 degrees Celsius, the water should be in a liquid state. Lower the room temperature 1 degree at a time until the water first starts to freeze. So we're at 5. I'm going to change it to 4. Hit, not 504. 4. Hit enter. We can see the thermometer going down to 4. We might see some changes there. Next, we're going to go to 3. And again, we can see the thermometer going down to 3 degrees Celsius. And maybe some movement happening here. 2. Again, going down to 2. You have some changes in molecule movement over here. We wanted to go to 1 first. So it's going to 1. Again, we see movement. We're going to 0. Awesome. And we know that this is our freezing point of water. Lower the room temperature a few more degrees. So let's go to -1. And then what do you notice about the water temperature as the water is freezing? So it's starting to freeze, although you notice that the temperature doesn't change at all. It's still stuck at 0. So that is something to note there. And then lower the room temperature to -10. Wait until all the water has frozen. So let's move it down to -10. Wait until all the water is frozen, then wait a little more. What happens to the ice temperature after all the water is frozen? So we're going to wait for this whole thing to freeze. Again, we're still stuck at this 0. We're waiting. Oh, we're waiting. And we're waiting. You can also see water freezing over here. Awesome, and now that it's all frozen, you can see the temperature is starting to drop again. So write that down, and then raise the room temperature back to 5 degrees Celsius. Observe the thermometer inside of the container. At what temperature does the ice melt? So go ahead and do that. Then in the blue section here, how do you think adding salt will affect the freezing and melting points of water? I'm going to reset this here. And so you're now going to do basically the same thing of what you were doing before, but you're going to be doing that with 50 grams of salt. And you can see down here that it'll tell you how much salt is in there. So you have 200 grams of salt to add. So far you've added 50 of 100, or 50 of 200, so you have 150 remaining. So that's how you know how much salt is in there, because it's dissolved right now. And go through in this blue section. It's just going to be asking you again to find the freezing point and the melting point. You can also see that there's some blue salt molecules in there as well. So that is that assignment. I went into a little more detail just because Gizmo sometimes is a little confusing, but overall just move the temperature back and forth and see what happens and observe the temperature in the thermometer. So that's that assignment. And then your extension is to go over those flashcards that you made yesterday. If you didn't make flashcards yesterday, make some flashcards using either pencil and paper or like a site like Quizlet. Make some flashcards with this vocab. And then star slides, fill out the star slides for Tuesday. And then check that you did everything. And that's that. Thanks so much for watching these instruction videos, and if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, you can have a great day. Bye!